Santa got stuck in the swamp, a Cajun Christmas heist gone wrong. The story down in the heart of the Louisiana bayou, in the small village of Lacroix, Christmas was always different. There were no sleigh bells jingling or snow-covered trees, just cypress knees rising from misty waters and fireflies flickering under moss-covered branches. But every child knew that Papa Noël, the Cajun version of Santa Claus, would still find his way to their homes, so long as the gators didn't get him. This Christmas Eve, something was stirring, and it wasn't just the gumbo pots or the zydeco music playing by the bonfires. Old Man Boudreaux, the most notorious trickster in the bayou, had come up with a scheme so wild that it could only happen down here. He was fed up with the way folks in Lacroix were getting lazy and greedy around Christmas, relying too much on gifts and forgetting about family and kindness. So he hatched a mischievous plan. He'd borrow Papa Noel's gifts right out of the pirogue, Cajun canoe, before the old man could deliver them, hoping to teach the town a hard but needed lesson about the true meaning of Christmas. He figured, without the presents, the townsfolk might remember what really mattered. With his cousin Thibodeau keeping lookout and a mischievous raccoon named Remy in tow, Boudreaux sneaked through the bayou just as Papa Noël arrived. The old man, tired from a long night of traveling, parked his pirogue by the dock and disappeared into the forest to stretch his legs. That's when Boudreaux struck, but the plan went sideways. The heist goes wrong as Boudreaux loaded up his own canoe with Papa Noël's gifts. A massive bull gator named Big Al appeared out of nowhere. Startled, Boudreaux tripped, and all the gifts splashed into the murky water. Panic set in. Papa Noël returned just in time to catch the commotion and, in the chaos, both Boudreaux and Papa Noël ended up knee-deep in swamp mud, stuck like a couple of crawfish in a trap. With no choice but to work together, the two men pulled and pushed, but the mud wasn't letting go. Papa Noël's magic was wearing thin, and dawn was fast approaching, meaning the kids of Lacroix might wake up to a Christmas with no presents at all. Boudreaux sighed, realizing he had truly messed things up. His heart sank, but instead of scolding him, Papa Noël looked at him with a grin. "Looks like we got ourselves a sticky situation, Boudreaux?" The old man chuckled. "Guess so, Papa Noël. Guess so." A Christmas like no other with no time to waste, the two men hatched a new plan. Since the gifts were ruined or lost to the swamp, they decided to spend the night visiting each home in Lacroix and leaving little surprises instead. A handwritten note here, a bundle of firewood there, and jars of sweet pralines for the kids. As they paddled from house to house, they shared stories and laughter, and Boudreaux began to understand what Christmas was really about. By morning, the villagers woke to something unexpected. No flashy gifts, but thoughtful gestures that reminded them of the spirit of giving and community. Boudreaux's heart felt lighter than it had in years. When they reached the last house, Papa Noël turned to him. "You did good tonight, Boudreaux. Maybe you ought to keep this up." Boudreaux grinned. "Guess I might just do that." And with a wink, Papa Noël disappeared into the misty morning, leaving Boudreaux to paddle home, feeling more content than ever before. The lesson that Christmas, the people of Lacroix learned that gifts aren't what make the season special. It's the love, generosity, and kindness we show to one another. And Old Man Boudreaux? Well, he became known as the town's secret Santa, leaving little gifts around the bayou every year to remind folks of what really matters. And they say, to this very day, if you listen closely on Christmas Eve, you can still hear him and Papa Noël paddling through the mist, spreading joy across the bayou, one muddy gift at a time. Closing thought: this whimsical Cajun Christmas story reminds us that material things aren't the essence of joy. Especially in today's society, where consumerism often overshadows community, it's a reminder that the best gifts are kindness, shared moments, and unexpected acts of generosity. Merry Christmas, and to all a good night.